The Whispers in Room 733. Hey Reddit, I need to get this off my chest. I've been working as a night auditor at this old hotel downtown for about 6 months now, and I swear, weird stuff has been happening since day one. But what went down last night? I'm still shaking. So this hotel, right? It's one of those places that used to be super fancy back in the day, all Art Deco and polished brass. Now it's just barely hanging on, mostly hosting budget tourists and the occasional business traveler who doesn't know any better. Anyway, my shift is from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Usually it's pretty quiet. I check in the odd late arrival, balance the books, and binge whatever's new on Netflix. But there's always been something off about this place. Like, sometimes I'll hear footsteps in the lobby when there's nobody there. Or I'll catch a whiff of old-timey perfume when I'm alone in the elevator. Creepy, sure, but nothing I couldn't brush off as an overactive imagination, you know? But room 733, that's where things get real. It's on the top floor, end of the hall. About a month into my job, I started getting complaints about it. Guests would call down in the middle of the night, swearing they could hear whispering coming from the walls. We'd send someone up, but they'd never find anything. Management started leaving it vacant unless we were fully booked. Fast forward to last night. We had a conference in town, so every room was full, including 733. Around 2 a.m., I get a call from the guest in 731. This guy's freaking out, saying he can hear a woman crying through the wall, begging for help. I tell him I'll check it out and head upstairs. The hallway on the 7th floor is always colder than the rest of the hotel, but last night it was like stepping into a freezer. My breath was clouding in front of me as I approached 733, and that's when I heard it. This soft, desperate sobbing. It wasn't coming from inside the room, though. It was like it was coming from inside the walls themselves. I knocked on the door, called out to see if everything was okay. No answer. I used my master key to open up, figuring maybe the guest had fallen or something. The room was pitch black and freezing cold. I fumbled for the light switch, and when I flipped it on, Reddit, I swear on everything I hold dear, the walls were bleeding. Not just a little bit either. It was running down in thick rivulets, pooling on the carpet, and the smell, like copper and rot. I stumbled backward, gagging, and that's when I saw her. There was a woman standing in the corner. She was wearing this old-fashioned dress, like something from the 1920s, but it was torn and filthy. Her hair was matted, hanging in front of her face, and she was flickering, like a bad TV signal, fading in and out of existence. I ran. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I bolted down 7 flights of stairs and didn't stop until I was behind the front desk. I called my manager, and he came in. We went back up together, but by then, everything was normal. The room was empty, the walls were clean, and the temperature was fine. My manager thinks I fell asleep at the desk and had a nightmare. But I know what I saw. And now, sitting here at the desk again, I keep thinking I can hear that sobbing, drifting down from the 7th floor. I don't know what to do. I can't afford to quit this job, but I'm terrified of what might happen if I stay. Has anyone else ever experienced anything like this? Any advice would be appreciated, because I'm working again tonight, and I don't think I can handle another encounter like that alone. Edit. Holy crap, this blew up overnight for all the responses. To answer some common questions. 1. Yes, I've tried researching the hotel's history. It opened in 1925 and was pretty swanky back then. I haven't found any records of deaths in room 733 specifically, but given how old the place is, I wouldn't be surprised. 2. No, I can't set up cameras. Management is weird about that kind of thing. 3. I'm working again tonight. I'll update if anything happens. Update. Okay, so I'm on my break right now and things have gotten even weirder. I came in for my shift and my manager pulled me aside. He said that after I left this morning, he did some digging. Turns out, back in 1947, a woman named Elizabeth Crane was found dead in room 733. The official report says she tripped and hit her head, but there were rumors that her husband had something to do with it. I asked him why he didn't tell me this before, and he got all shifty. Said he didn't want to encourage superstition. But here's the kicker. He's put me on the 7th floor tonight to keep an eye on things. Said to call him if anything happens. So now I'm sitting at this little desk at the end of the hallway, right across from 733. It's quiet now, but I swear the temperature keeps dropping. I've got about 4 hours left in my shift. I'll update again when I'm done, assuming I make it through the night. Wish me luck, Reddit. I've got a feeling I'm going to need it. Final update. I don't have much time to write this. I'm hiding in the supply closet on the 4th floor and I can hear something moving in the hallway outside. Everything was quiet for most of the night. Too quiet, really. No TV sounds from the rooms, no snoring, nothing. Around 5 a.m., I started hearing that whispering again. It was coming from 733, but also not. It was like it was coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. I tried to ignore it, but it kept getting louder. I could almost make out words. Something about, "help me," and "he's coming." I was about to call my manager when all the lights in the hallway went out. In the darkness, I saw her again. The woman from last night, Elizabeth. She was standing right in front of me, and she looked terrified. She reached out to me, her hand passing right through my arm, and I felt this jolt of pure fear and desperation. That's when I heard the elevator ding. Heavy footsteps coming down the hall. I couldn't see who it was, but Elizabeth's form started flickering wildly. She let out this heart-wrenching scream and vanished. The footsteps kept coming closer. That's when I ran. I didn't even think, just bolted for the stairs. I could hear something following me, its steps echoing in the stairwell. I ducked into this supply closet on the 4th floor, and that's where I am now. My phone's about to die, and I can hear those footsteps again, getting closer. I don't think this is just a ghost story anymore. I think something bad happened in this hotel, something worse than a simple accident. And whatever it is, I think it's still happening, playing out over and over again. If you're ever in a hotel and you feel something off, don't ignore it. Don't brush it off. And if you're offered room 733, run, and don't look back. I can hear the doorknob turning. If I don't make it out of here, at least I've left this record. Remember Elizabeth Crane, and whatever you do, stay away from the 7th floor.